Hello guys and gals, it is Soulfax here. Welcome to an episode of Mondays with Soulfax. It's Monday, it is actually Monday. I thought I wasn't going to be able to squeeze this video in between procrastinating, but I did it. I actually did it, so it's going to be on Monday. I don't know what gameplay I'm going to be putting for it, because I haven't played anything in 2 days, at least seriously anything in a couple of days. Because I've been working on a lot of stuff that I've talked about in my previous video, and there's been some breakthroughs on some grounds. Now, you might have noticed that there has not been a Mondays with Soulfax, a Witcher lore video, or a video that is not Mondays with Soulfax for a month now. And yes, that is a long time, but between my break and between just not being able to squeeze out a video on time, I didn't manage to squeeze out a video, like, in the last month. But I will be making a video this Friday, because I have a great idea for a beginning of a relatively new series that I want to do. It's not going to be anything special or anything just spectacular, it's just going to be different from what I did in the past, and from what I want to do in the future. I want to do these videos on a weekly basis, because in theory they should be pretty easy to make, because they're not going to be your regular Witcher lore videos. They're just going to be slightly less serious videos of a more easier variations of things. I just can't explain it without ruining the concept and how it's going to look like, so I'm just not even going to try. You just need to wait till Friday to see what it's going to be. But definitely this Friday there's going to be a video, I promise you. It's going to happen for sure. So that's it about the videos. What else did I do this week? Well. I did a couple of things that I said that I was going to do last week. So firstly, I worked on that side project that I told you about, which I won't talk about in this video because I talked about in the last video. And I went to the employment offices, and that was an experience. Let me just tell you, that was certainly not a pleasant experience. So when you apply yourself to the unemployment offices, however strange that sounds, that is I think the right syntax of the sentence. But when you apply yourself, you get assigned to a counselor that helps you find a job. You tell them about yourself, what experience do you have in the working field, and what are you educated to work as, and then they help you find a job. They send you jobs that you can apply to, that you need to apply to, and stuff like that. But anyhow, I got stuck with the most crankiest employee of the month. She was horrible. So one of the conversations that we had went as follows. So I went in there and she asked me, how well do I speak English, and do I speak English at all? And I said, yes, I do speak English. And she said, from a scale of 1 to 5, how well do you speak English? And I said 5, naturally, because English is as close to my native language as any other language that I speak. And coincidentally, English is the only language that I speak other than my native language. So yeah, and then from that point on, it took me 5 minutes to convince her that I actually can speak English. And I'm not even sure that she said that she posted a 5 for me on that little form that she was filling during our conversation. I'm not even sure about that, because she was giving me some weird looks, like that she didn't believe me at all, which I don't understand why, because she had no reason not to believe me. And yeah, not a pleasant experience. And then from that point on, it took me, she just kept saying, "Are you sure?" Every time I would answer a question she asked me, she would then follow up with an "Are you sure?" every single freaking time. Which is really annoying, because it makes me question myself, like, am I sure? Did I finish high school? Like, did I? I don't know. I do have my diploma in hand, but I'm not sure if I actually finished high school. So yeah, that was really, really annoying. And now I need to fill up weekly reports and report back to her that I am actually signing up for those job listings that she sends me, and that I'm actually personally engaging in a job hunt, which is rather annoying and is putting a lot of pressure on me, on top of the pressure that I put on myself by making these videos and making all of the obligations that I've already made to all of those people. Yeah, it's really not pleasant. Also, I do realize that I never mentioned this, but I went to see Rogue One a couple of weeks back, and I gotta say, I seriously disliked The Force Awakens. I thought it was a horrible movie and an even worse Star Wars movie. But Rogue One was an amazing movie. I just cannot I can't properly explain you why this movie was great and why it actually brought up memories of my first watching of the original Star Wars and the first watching of the prequels, because When I was a kid, the prequels were great. Now that I'm an adult, the prequels are not so great, really. They're not so great. But anyhow, it's an amazing movie, and I don't want to spoil it too much for you, but it really shows you that the people in these movies are human, and it shows you the humanity of both the rebellion and the inhumanity of the Empire, and surprisingly, the rebellion, because to do all of those things that they did in the movies, like firstly, in this movie the plot is they're going to get the plans for the Death Star, but if you watch the trailers, you probably know that, so spoiler alert. And in the original films, they destroyed the Death Star twice, kind of, and they killed a lot of people, and they did a lot of kind of trashy stuff, and I'm talking about the Rebellion, not the Empire. To do all of that, they needed to do some bad things to acquire all that information they needed to perform all of those operations. And they do showcase that in this movie. They actually showcase it in one of the first scenes, which tells you that it's not black and white. The Empire isn't all bad, and the Rebellion isn't all good. It's a whole lot of grays, and we basically just cheer for the Rebellion because it is displayed in such a manner that the Rebellion are the good guys. But in an alternate universe, or just in another movie made by another director, it could have easily been that it is the Empire trying to keep order and the Rebellion are the terrorists that are just trying to overthrow the government for no reason at all. Bottom line, it's a great movie. Go watch it while it's still in the cinemas, because it's going to be a couple of months before it actually comes to DVDs and Blu-rays, so you really want to see it now, because watching such a movie in cinema is always a better experience than watching it on a DVD or on your computer. And on that note, I just remembered that I want to play a couple of Star Wars games, so I'm going to be downloading Star Wars Jedi Academy, because fuck it, why not? I want to see how it looks in 1080p. Yeah, that's been me for this week. My name has been Soulfax. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you next week. Bye bye.